when they were huddled together in an upper room, grieving and afraid, so that when the risen Christ walked into that room, against all odds, they realized that it was really him, knew it, not with their heads, but with their hearts. And so they were finally able to share the good news, not with their words, but with their whole lives. Now, not all mountaintop experiences occur on actual mountaintops. Today, you're hearing testimonies from members of Saugatuck Church who attended the all-ages retreat the last weekend in January. As far as I know, no one white-knuckled the drive up to Sharon, Connecticut. The weather was fine. Everyone traveled safely and arrived without incident. The skies that weekend remained blue, and the only rumbling to be heard was the deep, resonant crack of ice out on Silver Lake. The only blinding white shimmer, the afternoon sun, reflecting off the lake's frozen surface. And yet many of those who have spent time at Silver Lake, on retreats or at summer camp, can tell you how they have been changed by their time in the place we call God's backyard. Not because Silver Lake is unique, but because going on retreat or going to camp can displace us just enough to open us up to a new insight, a new friendship, a new sense of direction, maybe even a word from God. They can tell you their stories. Here's a little bit more of mine. During that month in Hawaii, I did in fact get up to the top of Mauna Kea twice to watch the sunset as my fingers and nose gradually went numb in the fierce cold, because who parks a winter parka when they're going to Hawaii? Not me. I also stood on the edge of the active volcano Kilauea to watch a full moon rising over the glowing Halemaumau crater. And these were both breathtaking, awe-inspiring. But really, my entire sabbatical was a mountaintop experience. A stepping out of my comfort zone and being met by the living, loving God in an unfamiliar place. I never felt quite as unsettled as I had during that drive up to the top of Pikes Peak. But I did feel that unexpected openness to the Spirit that comes from being knocked just a bit off balance while learning how to hula dance, or snorkel, or pronounce yet another 9-syllable Hawaiian word. Over and over, I heard hints of God's voice in those Celtic prayers and in the stories of members of the Church of Holy Cross who hosted me, in Hawaiian myth, and in the testimony of a 4th-generation farmer in Waipio Valley, in the incessant nocturnal chirp of the tiny koki frog, and in the hiss of lava flowing into the sea. 6 months later, I am still sitting with the memory of those holy encounters. Bit by bit, they have been making their way from my head to take up residence in my heart. Bit by bit, I am discovering all the ways that they have changed me. And yes, I have stories to tell. But this I am also learning to be true, along with Peter and James and John. That finally, mountaintop experiences are not something to be explained. They are something to be cherished. And then gradually, something to be lived. May your holy encounters so bless, ground, and guide you all your days. Amen.